Joel chapter 2 and verse 28. And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, your old men shall dream dreams, your young men shall see visions. And also upon the servants and upon the handmaids in those days will I pour out my spirit, and I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke. The sun shall be turned into darkness, and the moon into blood before the great and the terrible day of the Lord come. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakakadash, for blessing me with the Spirit to do this lesson. And what you're gonna see in this Salakia, 1 minute. 1 second. Salakia. So yeah, what you're gonna see in this video is you got people here in Babylon the Great having these visions and dreams of I don't want to give it away, are pretty much Bible prophecy in the end. And this thing is not a game. All of these things are gonna happen before the day of the Lord come. So let's play it. Yahba Shem Shah willing, the leg be edified. Shalom.
If you look in the Bible, you can see that God gave warnings to prophets and to dreamers. And I have been having dreams, and they have been so many warnings that there's war coming to America.
Kidding me? There's gonna be missiles getting sent this way? Like, are you dead ass? Like, nobody's safe. Nobody's safe, bro.
I'm telling you, these missiles are coming. They're coming. They coming.
Okay, let's talk about dreams for a second. So, before the war started with Iran, is it a war? I don't know. Whatever. Before we attacked Iran, I had a dream. That we were getting attacked with like missiles. Okay, like we were in our home and getting attacked with missiles, like our home, the neighbor's home, like everywhere. And we literally were like trying to evacuate, but we couldn't in our cars. Okay, I told my friend about this dream once the war like started, like once we attacked Iran. Okay, last night I had a dream, kind of the same vibe. There was more to it. I cannot remember all of the details though, which is driving me crazy because like I'm really good about remembering my dreams. Like my dreams are usually very vivid. And I can't remember anything about it except there was at one point, it was like multiple like fireballs almost like falling from the sky, and I could feel it, like even in my sleep I could feel it like burning, stinging my body, which was so weird. And so I don't know if these dreams mean anything, but this is the second dream that I've had now about this whole mess, and I never know if it's like if it means something or if it's just because I've been like reading stuff or seeing stuff on the internet. So I don't know if it's just like because I'm seeing that or because it means something.
So I had this dream last night, and it was like multiple things happening in that dream. Like it was like scene after scene after scene. But the most important thing was we were all driving on some type of like highway, and there was something that was happening on the side of the highway, and we all got out of our cars to like look, see, help, whatever. In the midst of us all being in this open space, we see this light come from the sky, and we look up and we're like, what the heck was that? At first we thought it was lightning, we thought it was fireworks, we didn't know. And then after a couple seconds, all we heard was boom, and everybody was like, I know that ain't what we think it is. And we saw 2 more, 3 more, boom, 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 boom. These were missiles. Everybody started screaming, running back to their cars, because a lot of people were heading in that direction because they was getting ready to go home. Suddenly they realized they couldn't go home. Some people thought, oh, I'm going to go into the city. I got to go to my child. I got to go get this person. Other people was like, it's too late. Turn around. You got to go someplace else. It's not smart to go in the direction of the missile. He just so happened to be with somebody who was like, hey, can you drop me off at home? We were like, sure. But when we tried to drop them off at home, even though it wasn't in the same direction, there was nothing but chaos on the road. Cars crashed into each other, people ignoring red lights, sinkholes opening up. It got to the point where it was like, dude, you're not going to be able to get home. You're just going to have to ride with us. You can't.
See, Salakia. What's going on?
Sure, but when we tried to drop them off at home, even though it wasn't in the same direction, there was nothing but chaos on the road. Cars crashed into each other, people ignoring red lights, sinkholes opening up. It got to the point where it was like, dude, you're not going to be able to get home. You're just going to have to ride with us. You can't go back. And at first we were riding in.
And Salakia. Satan, man. I don't know what went down just now. Salakia. Let's get back to it.
Separate cars. Like that person had their own car, but we all had to hop into one car. Like they had to leave their car behind. We basically had to figure out where we was going to go because we could not go back home. In this dream, our cell phones were not working. You could not send text messages. You could not call anybody. There was no internet. I'm just going to show y'all a quick drawing of what it kind of looked like. So this is like the road or the highway that we was on. Everybody was pulled over here because there was something happening here. Like I don't remember exactly what was happening here, but it was like a major thing to the point where it caused all of us to pull over and get out of our cars. While we was here seeing this, okay, we seen the light come out the sky. We were like, what the heck is that? Boom, hit the city. You could see the city from where we were. I don't know what city this was, but you could just see it from where we were. We all took a long pause and we were like, what the heck was that? Then we saw the other ones. Boom, boom. Everybody started screaming, rushing to get back into their cars, driving towards the chaos. Other people turned around. They went the opposite direction. Other people were still just standing there looking. We're like in total disbelief. We understood like we got to go. We got to figure out where we need to go. The person I was with had to leave their car on the side of the road and hop in the car with us. I was big enough to fit everybody because we was not splitting up. We're like, no, we cannot separate. We got to stick together. The person wanted to go back home and retrieve some of their items, but it was like, no, we're just going to have to do without it because we could not go back. It was too much.
And then we've been telling you this, man. This dream that this woman had, you know, is greatly detailed. You know, she's pretty much drawing things out and giving you play by play. You know, but she said cars were crashing, people. It was full blown chaos, and that's how easy and how quick things are gonna change and escalate here in Babylon the Great when those nuclear missiles hit over here, man. Those warheads. It's not a game, man. And we've been telling you this.
chaos from what was going on. I really don't remember what was happening on the side of the highway, but I remember there was ambulance trucks. I remember there was an ambulance truck that was flipped over. So it may have been like a collision, or it may have been something like really, really bad that happened on the side of the highway. At the same time, whatever happened on the side of the highway stopped a lot of us from being in that area when those missiles hit. But it was like missile after missile. At first we were like, are those fireworks? And then we were like, no, those aren't fireworks.
The Lord gave me a vision of the night this week. Lord allowed me to see war right here in the United States. Oh, hallelujah. In this vision of the night, I was carrying on my everyday life. In the vision, I was in a mall. The mall was very modern, if you will. And people began to run and panic. I didn't know what was going on at the time. Stepped outside, and when I stepped outside, I looked up, and there was war in the sky. I seen bombs, and I seen aircraft vehicles, if you will. And I seen a great, like, dome, a laser over the sky that was trying to intercept these bombs and things that was coming in. You couldn't get in your vehicles to drive nowhere because the roads were shut down. You couldn't get on your phone to call nobody because the phones wouldn't work.
My real concern about this is a dream I had a number of years ago. In this dream, Iran flooded the sky with missiles, also as did Hezbollah with rockets that overwhelmed the defensive dome over Israel. They could not stop, everything that was coming at them. And it was in that when they slipped a nuke in, and in my dream, that nuke destroyed what was called the Wicked City. Now, in Israel, and many have told me.
Now, when you're dealing with Israel, the land over there, that's not going to be completely destroyed. That's going to be built back up. It's going to be inhabitable. The Israelites, the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, are going to dwell in that land in safety. Right? And the heathen, everyone else that is not an Israelite, is going to build Israel back up. The only place that's going to be uninhabitable is Babylon the Great America. This place is going to be flatlined.
Since they read that or heard me speak about it, that the Wicked City is what Tel Aviv is called.
I feel like the Lord gives us warnings before war comes. If you look in the Bible, you can see that God gave warnings to prophets and to dreamers. And I have been having dreams, and they have been so many warnings that there's war coming to America. Before I started having these dreams, I didn't really believe that the end time or war would happen in my lifetime. I've heard of it, but I just didn't think that it would happen in my lifetime. And I feel as though God started giving me these dreams because he wanted me to know that he is coming soon. And I believe that I'm going to share these in hope that you too can start to realize that God's coming soon. So I'm going to go ahead and dive into this dream. In this dream that I was having, the location was very important to me. I just knew that I was in a desert, and it was a suburbs in the desert. It kind of felt like maybe Arizona or California. I know that it was livable, but there was also the heat of desert sands, and it just had You could look down and see sand. You could look out and see sand. There were palm trees. And then everyone was stepping outside of their houses, looking up into the sky. And as we were looking up, there was this beautiful, beautiful rainbow. And the rainbow was so vibrant. It was so vibrant that it lit up the sky in this like pink hue. And I was like, wow. And I had my kids. I was like, look, guys, there's a rainbow. And we looked up, and then we kind of turned the corner, and it was like an M, like a McDonald's arch. There were two rainbows, and they were just so beautiful. And everyone was coming outside to look at the rainbows. And then all of a sudden, bursting through the rainbow comes three or four missiles. And they took everyone by surprise. I just remember everyone was like, what is that? What is that? And so we were looking around, and then I turn around and I look behind me, and I'm like, it's a missile, it's a bomb. And everyone's just running, and you can hear frantic screaming, and we're running. And then all of a sudden, the missile, I can feel the heat of it hit behind me.
And this is the end of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man's world, man. This is what she's, describing. Because this is the end, all be all. When these missiles hit Babylon the Great, that is the end. Right now, you see the kingdom of Edom being thrown in the trash, man. And it's not going to be healed. It's on its way out the door. So what she's describing, she says she's seen a rainbow and it looked beautiful. She told her kids, look, and then next thing you know, missiles came crashing through the rainbow, man. See, you devils, you like to include yourselves and all things, man. You think the Bible is for you. The Bible has never been for you. The Bible was only for the Israelites. Between the Israelites and their power. Between Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and the descendants that come down that line. That's it. And soon everybody is going to realize that Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, was never for anybody but the children of Israel, the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans. This is Acts chapter 2 and verse 17. I'm going to start at 16. It says, but this is that which was written by the prophet Joel, what I just read in Joel in the beginning. It says, and it shall come to pass in the last days that we are in, saith the Lord, power, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams. And on my servants and on my handmaids, I will pour out in those days of my spirit, and they shall prophesy. And this is what you see throughout this video. It says, and I will show wonders in the heavens above and signs in the earth beneath, blood and fire and vapors of smoke. And when this actually goes down, that's all you're going to see, man. Blood, vapors, and pillars of smoke. And vapors of smoke. And fire. It says, the sun shall be turned into darkness, where you got the eclipses, right? We just came out of an eclipse not too long ago that everybody made a big spectacle of and had parties under, but that was a sign of destruction on its way, right? It says, before the great and notable Salakia. I'm going to read 20 again. It said, the sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood. And that's the blood moons. We just had a blood moon, I believe, last month, right? We coming into the Passover. What was the Passover? A significant time of great death, right? Where the first of the Egyptians, the firstborn of the Egyptians were put to death, man. Right? And the Lord passed over the Israelites' houses, man, with the blood on the doorposts. We entering into that time, right? It says, before the great and notable day of the Lord come, right? So this is not a game, man. Let's go.
And it hits the ground, and then there's just billows of heat and sand, and in my dream, I could feel it so much that it still sticks with me.
You cannot tell me that God is not real. Like, I was starting to have the craziest freaking dream until my son came in here waking me up. I was dreaming about the freaking war that's going on. That right here on the interstate where you come to go to the mall where I live at, come this way easily, no problem. You didn't even see it. You didn't see the war, no nothing. Okay, so the story was I was going to drop my kids off somewhere, and then I was on my way back by myself, and I just see missiles and things flying over, and I'm like, what is going on? Y'all, the ladies outside like, no, don't drive any farther. No, don't drive any further. Y'all, missiles just shooting. So I had to get out the car and start backwards, like on my back, going backwards. So I was, and lo and behold, like I'm starting to panic, y'all, in my sleep. So I was about to start crying in my sleep, and my son came and woke me up with chicken wings. You can't tell me that is not God.
So I just woke up from the most craziest dream of my life. I had a dream that there was a war, like they were bombing New York City, bro. I literally had a dream about that. Like I visibly seen the bombs in the sky getting stopped, some of them hitting buildings, and it's like little red balls, and some of them were getting stopped, but other ones, they were hitting the buildings. People were just running around acting like it was just crazy. It's so real. That dream was so serious to me because I even smelled the smoke in my dream. Like I smelt it, I felt it. I opened my window to feel the smoke and smell it. Like, bro, what the fuck? Who has dreams about that? Like, come on. That's why I said I want to leave New York. Like, bro, what do you mean? Why am I having a dream about war in NYC? Like,
and it's not going to just be NYC. It's going to be Babylon the Great in its entirety. You see, when you hear, all of these people giving their testimonies and their visions or the dreams they had and things of that sort, notice that they were all just going about their daily lives, man. They wasn't, thinking about this thing happening. Pretty much, more than likely, none of them was thinking about Yahweh Shem Yahushua, especially the heathen. But our people, they know that they're Israelites now. The Israelites have been teaching and letting, the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans know who they are. So the Lord has given you the wisdom. He has sent his prophets out to tell you who you are and what you need to do in order not to be caught up in this destruction that's coming by way of thermonuclear missiles. Because once the missiles hit this place, man, there's nowhere to escape. There's no getting on your knees and praying. There's none of that, man. This is the time to do it now. Right? 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 10. It says, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise. Right? This age. Right? This earth age. right? Under the rulership of the devil, of Satan, of the wicked. It says, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up, man. And what are the works that are in this kingdom, this society, this rulership? Wickedness. So when the Lord burns this age up, all the wickedness and the evil is going to be burnt with it, right? By ways of you Babylonians, right? You know, ain't gonna be no more do what you want to do and freak off and be a harlot and a homo a mo. Ain't gonna be none of that, man. Eating whatever you want to eat. This is the result of Babylon and its sins, right? Because what? When you read the book of Revelation, chapter 14, it tells you that the her sins have reached unto heaven, right? It's not, this is gonna happen. It's not no, it might happen. We think it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, man. And you know, you have that Edomite woman saying that she always thought that it would not come, like war and these things would not happen in her lifetime. And you got a lot of our people are saying that it's not going to happen in my lifetime. But when you read the book of Ezekiel, chapter 12, verse, I think 24 or 22 on down, it tells you that the Lord is going to move on all the things that he said, you know, and it's going to manifest right now. And we see it as the prophets and the servants of Yahweh Bashem Al Shah. We see it, man. Right? So the Lord said his day is going to come as a thief in the night. Why? Because people are not going to be looking for it. Us in this truth, we don't know when it's actually going to happen, but we know for sure that it's coming. We know this. We know it's coming. So when we see things happen, we knew it was coming. The people here in Babylon the Great, they're not looking for it to come because they trust and believe in what their government says on how they got the war under control, and nothing is going to happen. But if you're really paying attention spiritually through the spirit and the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you know this all a lie, man. You know this thing is coming. Right? So I got two more. We're going to shut it down. Let's continue.
Are you kidding me? There's going to be missiles getting sent this way? Like, are you dead ass? Like, nobody's safe. Nobody's safe.
9 years ago, I had a dream that missiles was coming to America. And I would have these dreams back to back. I cried. I woke up crying to my pastor. I called my pastor and I was crying because it felt so real. You know, the dream that I had, the first dream that actually, 6 years before the coronavirus had happened, I was on the train and, you know, God was speaking through me to say to the people that judgment is coming to America and that a lot of people is going to die. I don't know. I got scared and I stopped. It's very embarrassing to say that. But anyway, you know, God would let me know, you know, you haven't seen nothing yet. You know, a lot of people are going to die. You haven't seen nothing yet. He will say it every day, then he'll stop for a couple of days, and then he'll say it again, and then the coronavirus came. But anyway, the point that I'm trying to say is that the dream that I had was crazy, and it was just me and these girls. You know, we was walking like downstairs. It looked like a train station because you know, in New York City, here in New York City, when you go in the train station, you got the little store in the train station. And, you know, I was like, you know, I'm gonna go in there and get something from the store or whatever. And then when I had, you know, I was in there doing whatever, I heard this big rumble. and everybody just went to the floor. But we finally got up and we ran up the stairs, but the girls disappeared. I don't know where they went. And all I just know, it was just bullets falling out the sky, just, and people were dying. I'm like, oh man, and I'm dodging these bullets. Oh God. So I ran inside this car and I'm driving, and I looked to the left, and it was like a big lake and people on a rowboat, and they trying to get away, but the missile had fell on them and they drowned. Oh, and they drowned. So there I'm in the car, but there's a whole bunch of cars ahead of me, and the missile was coming to the cars, but the missile had went over the car. It didn't hit us. You know what I'm saying? Then it was one time, another time I was, still dodging missiles and all that, and
Jake distraught just speaking about it, man. This is how much fear just talking about it puts you in fear, man. So imagine when it actually goes down. Imagine when it happens. Right? This is Amos chapter 5 and verse 18. It says, "Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light." Right? So the day of the Lord is not nice, man. It's fearful. It's destruction. Right? It's death. Nothing good, but good. Right? Good for the men of the Lord, the elect, but not good for 2/3 of our people. Not good for the other nations. Right? It says, "As if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaneth his hand on the wall and a serpent bit him." So in that day, there's going to be destruction everywhere, man. You're not going to be able to run nowhere, hide nowhere. Destruction is going to be everywhere. It says, "Shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even very dark and no brightness in it?" It's not going to be any good days. And we dealing with that right now. Right? The people of Babylon the Great are dealing with that right now, man. We know that this is a joyous time to see our enemies fall, to see the proud people of Babylon the Great get their just due. Right? This is what the prophets of old have waited for, that they wish they can see. We're seeing it. Right? Some of us are the prophets from back then. But see, our people are so carnal, they're not spiritual, that they don't see that, man. Right? So the Lord said, "Shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light?" It's going to be darkness, chaos. Very, very bad, man. But good. Even very dark and no brightness in it. Right? So that's, hey, man, it's nothing to play with.
To foundly live it. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. That I get so scared because of the things I think about, it comes to pass, or the things I see, it comes to pass. I'm just letting y'all know, guys. Just keep your head up, man, and just do what you need to do. Do what you have to do. Pray. I'm telling you, these missiles are coming. They're coming. They coming.
And she said, pray to who? That's the thing. People don't know who to pray to. Not Allah, not Buddha, not Jeebus, right? So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, They need to get right with their power, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, man. This is my last one. We're going to shut it down. Malachi chapter 4:1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble, man. So all you wicked niggas, right? You other nations, you're going to be burned as stubble, man. It says, and the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall lead them neither root nor branch. So I'm going to leave it there. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua willing, the elect was edified. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, Bahashem Rakakadash, for blessing me with the spirit to do this lesson. You better get right, man, because we at the end. If not, you're going to be burnt up by way of thermonuclear missiles. And you might be out of here before then. The Lord might get you caught up with the sword. You're going to die of hunger. It's not a game, man. It's serious. To the next lesson, Shalom.